We're live on Instagram. Nobody
Which I don't know how late do we up to? Uh, Yo, what's up to all my latchkey kids and movie heads? I'm your host, Dub. This is my co-host, Big Brother Al. And we are live from Steve O's Gym and Juice. It is one of those Saturdays, man. It's raining outside. It's gloomy. This is a perfect time to just sit in the house and watch TV all day.
Absolutely. That's it's always a perfect time for me. Like I don't like going outside. I would rather be in the house.
I think for me, man, I'll be 42 next weekend. And even though I didn't really feel like that's old, sometimes my body is telling me I'm 53 instead of 42. And I'll be like, nah, man, I'm cool. I love staying in the house, chilling, watching TV, watching movies with my feet up, relaxing. That is me. That is my thing.
It don't cost no money in there.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing. No headaches. I ain't got to worry about you YNs out there acting a fool. I ain't got to worry about none of that. Well, we're glad you guys are here checking in with us. We're just here. Want to give you guys our full week all in one day. So if you're in the chat, please comment. We can see it real time. If you got something you want to ask us, feel free, reach out to us. Other than that, we're going to get busy with this. I know sometimes we get that. The question I've been asked, I know people probably ask you a lot, like, what made you guys want to do the movie buffs? And I say all the time, the people that know me and Al, like we kind of met 20 some years ago, and I think we were both our friend group's class clowns.
Right. Yeah. The goofiest person in the clique.
We was the goofballs in our cliques, and we kind of met doing skits for our friends for their music CDs. My homeboy Chris Shields, and I did a couple skits for his CD, and I know you were doing skits.
Freshman, PF3, probably fresh.
Yeah, for your guys, and we just kind of connected.
Yeah.
Start writing small little strips,
Shorts,
skits, commercials.
They were doing it for the Vine.
Yeah, well, this was actually before Vine, though. Vine wasn't even out yet when we were doing this.
And we really predate skits. Like
It was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then, life happens, and then we just kind of stopped. And then we was like, man, let's just open up our laptops and let's get back to doing what we love to do.
Yeah.
And I think the movie buffs comes from, I was talking to JR, and I was telling him about this show I used to watch back in the day called Dream On.
Yeah.
It was on HBO. And the premise of this show, and this is just the intro, like the intro credits to the show. This lady, she sits a kid down in front of the TV, and you're watching time passes, and all he does is watch TV. And as time passes, you see him growing up with the TV in front of him. And as his life goes, everything is a movie clip.
Yeah.
Everything. So somebody say something, it always goes to a movie. And I think that's how I think on a daily basis. My entire life revolves around a movie or a TV series. So I'm always breaking an imaginary third wall, looking off to a camera, thinking about something that I've seen and watched. So that's really what my love comes from, movies and TV. What about yours?
Same, it's a similar situation. I didn't go outside a lot unless I was like trying to go to the playground, shoot some basketball or something like that. But for the most part, I was sitting in the house watching, Coming to America or The Last Dragon over and over.
You still do that? You still watch The Last Dragon like twice a week?
Pretty much. Like I haven't changed much at all, but just not really wanting to go outside. It was just, and then it's ghetto and good. It wasn't too much to do besides get in trouble. I knew I didn't want to do that, so I was in the house watching Coming to America. I'm gonna get you, sucker. All the stuff that I still watch.
Those are classics. I'm gonna get you, sucker. Well, I'm not even gonna get in there because we'll be talking about that for another 20 minutes. So let's kick this off. I want to ask Big Brother Al something, especially since I'm sitting right here in front of you. A lot of times we're not together when we record. But the question I got, Big Brother Al, if you could reboot any movie or TV show, what would it be?
That's a lot of classics. The first thing that comes to mind is A Different World, but I see they're getting ready to do some type of.
Now, is that going to be real or is that just internet talk? I didn't see any confirmations on the internet, but I did see that they got the test pilot.
Well, that's my bad because I didn't verify if that's going to happen. But me, I would make it a variety show, and I would do it Living Color. I would like to see a new version of the Living Color, and Drewski has got to be in it. Man, Drewski is funny as hell, man. He like a chameleon, man. He can morph and do. Even though he looks the same, he doesn't do a lot of costumes. Like he can, the voices and the impersonations. Like man, I would love to see Drewski, Bojo, like all the Chicago guys. Like if they could like get a skit variety show and like channel that in living color or like a newer living color, I think that would so.
Now, a lot of people say, we've heard this, that, and I don't want to discredit or disrespect, anybody's craft. But when you got people that start from internet, people say, they're internet comedians or social media comedians, like they're not real actors and not real comedians. But I think when we talk about variety shows, sketch comedy, that's 99% of everything that they do now. Like they do sketch comedy. Like you said, Drewski, some of the stuff that he comes up with, that he can just look at something and say, man, I'm gonna go get my camera and I'm gonna go film.
Yeah.
Because the last thing he did with the hungry black guy that's on the dating show.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
And it's like when you go in YouTube, it was one of those shows. It was a guy that looked just like that on the last that they just had the same hair, had the same body. But yeah, if you did it in living color, I wouldn't want to see it with known actors. I would love to see it with those up and comers, with the Mojo Brooks, the Jack Boy Funnies, Jess Hilarious.
I've seen a few of them like live stand up. Oh, they getting on stage tearing shit up. Mojo Brooks, Mike Sampson, man, they get on stage and like they professional comedians. They stand up comics, man. It's not a game. They do both. So I think they can pull it off.
Oh man. Okay. So if you had to remake something, your thing would be In Living Color.
In Living Color.
You would reboot In Living Color with a new cast, with a new band of characters. Okay, I got one more question for you, big brother Al. If I said these names to you, what would be the first movie that come to mind? So I got a couple names from a couple people out there. If you hear this name, type in the comments. First movie that comes to mind. Steven Seagal.
Hard to kill. Hard to kill.
Hard to kill. Halle Berry.
Strictly Business.
Tom Hanks.
Big.
Balls. Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan. Hustle Man. Martin.
Adam Sandler.
Big Daddy. Impulse.
I don't know what's up with this guy. His mind today. Michael Douglas.
Fatal Attraction.
And might I add, Fatal Attraction? No, I'm thinking Basic Instinct. I'm not even gonna say it. No. Fatal Attraction was with
Mike Douglas and Billy Coates, right?
Okay, so I am thinking about Basic Instinct. We're not even gonna go there. Sigourney Weaver.
Aliens.
If I say this, everybody know you probably got 50 movies. I don't even think you could do one. Denzel Washington.
X.
Malcolm X would be your favorite one. Macaulay Culkin.
Home Alone.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss. Ooh. Sorry. Damn, but what's the one with the title?
I heard one over there, but I don't know if you even seen it.
Society?
Okay. Matt Damon.
The Martian?
Last one. I want to go. This is a big list. Give me one, Steve-O.
Actor?
Give me one actor for him.
One actor?
Yeah.
Bruce Willis. I didn't want to say the obvious. Pulp Fiction. That's
okay, because the obvious would have been Die Hard. And it was funny because I was it was something that I think Bruce Willis, he was telling somebody about making a film. And he was just like, you always want to get that one. It's like that one movie that it doesn't matter whatever you make, people are going to remember you by that. And he is was, of course, with Die Hard. Yeah. It doesn't matter what flops he makes or what he does. One thing you will remember Bruce Willis by would be Die Hard.
What did he say for Tom Hanks?
He said big for Tom Hanks.
But for I was thinking when you said
what's what?
I don't know if y'all gonna feel it though. Castaway.
That's what
Castaway. Yeah, Castaway was hard for me to watch.
It was hard.
I like.
Yeah, because you know what?
It's only him.
It's only him. Like I can't sit by myself. I can't do that. Like I don't like to be by myself. I need to be around people. So if you put me on the island on a boat, I'm screwed. I'm stuck.
My favorite Bruce Willis movie is The Sixth Sense.
Six is actually a
underrated.
really good.
That was a great movie.
So underrated.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
So we got a few things that are coming out that I would love to talk about. Guys, if you have Amazon Prime, this is part of the weekend roundup. If you have Amazon Prime, please check out Bondsman with Kevin Bacon. I love Kevin Bacon. He's an amazing actor. He hasn't had a big body of work since The Following. And if you ever seen The Following, that was a classic. But The Bondsman, basically, he's a bondsman, but he kind of has a checkered past. He gets murdered. Upon dying, he goes to hell. He gets sent back to basically collect souls that escape from hell. So, but and it's only 8 episodes. It's 30 minutes. It's a very fast watch. I watched all 8 episodes yesterday. It will remind you of Ash versus the Evil Dead, if you ever seen that, with a mix of grim, because he's able to see those everybody else can't see him. He can't die. He's able to kill him. So The Bondsman is a pretty good one. That is on Amazon Prime. 30-minute episodes, 8 episodes. You can finish that today.
Okay.
Something else that just came out called Mobland. And you always talk about a good mob show. We went to see the Alto Knights about 2 weeks ago, and it wasn't enough action. If you watch Mobland, you will get the action you need in the first episode. It stars Tom Hardy and Pierce Bronson. My mom would probably watch it because she loves Pierce Bronson from all those James Bond movies. You know, my mama loved that James Bond. So Tom Hardy basically plays like the enforcer for the mob. And it's gonna be a spoiler in this first episode. Pierce Bronson is the head of one mafia family. It's another family, and one of the sons are not supposed to hang out. First episode, the 2 sons are hanging out together. One of the sons don't come home. So now they like, I know my son was with you. Where's my son at? But it was a lot of action. It was some explosions, some gunshots, some murders. Everything happened in the first 60 minutes.
I like some shit that we said.
Oh yeah, you got to go check that out today. Because like I said, it's not that much, but you know that's something that's out. What you got for this weekend?
Man, I didn't see anything that's coming out this week that I was interested in at the movies or streaming services. So I'm gonna do what I always do. What you accuse me of, and that's just watching the same old shit over and over again. But I do have a to-do list.
Yeah, bro, it's a lot of stuff that you got to watch. It's a lot of stuff you
Yeah.
got to watch. There's too many things that I'm giving you and you're not watching. I don't want to replace your seat. Right? We see this a lot. We see it a lot. You know, you got people that start out together, and then after 6 months, maybe a year, then we'll be. This is why you don't have to find no scandals. Ain't no scandals. You don't watch enough goddamn TV. And I need to put somebody else up there with me that watching these shows.
I'm into the classics. I'm a connoisseur of classic cinema.
Bro, it's some stuff.
Masterpiece theater.
Okay, so you have nothing new to watch this weekend.
Nothing
Nothing
to
new to
watch.
get to people. So you need to give us 3 classics for the people to watch. 3 classics, okay? 3.
On the heels of Eddie Murphy's birthday, I know it's a lot of people who are born after the year 2000 who check this out. I'm gonna tell y'all, go watch Coming to America. Go and watch I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. As you can see, I was a kid who grew up wanting to laugh all the time. And Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Go watch those 3 classics.
Oh, God. I mean, I love to give you guys some old things to watch, but it's so much new stuff out here. And I'm not going to deprive you guys of that. So I'm going to keep you guys on the up-to-date stuff. And yes, so Big Brother Al, want to have you guys watch the classic. The only thing I'm never going to argue about is having people watch Eddie Murphy. I will never argue with you about sending people to watch Eddie Murphy. It was his birthday the other day. If you have Amazon, they have a station on there called National Lampoons. And they have been playing Eddie Murphy movies on repeat. And they start with Trading Places, then they go to the 248 Hours, they go right to Beverly Hills Cop, and then they play a few more of his movies.
So let's just stop it right there. What's your favorite Eddie Murphy movie?
It's hard, man, and I know if Levi's watching, if Big Woods is watching right now, I I don't really have an Eddie Murphy movie that I do not like.
That you don't like.
That I don't like. You know?
What's the one Eddie Murphy movie that you can watch everyone? It sounds like
I could really watch. Honestly, I could watch anytime there's an Eddie Murphy movie on. I can watch it. It's not an Eddie Murphy movie that I cannot watch. He will get so much flack for Bowfinger, Meet Dave, Holy Man, and Pluto Nash.
I don't ever have to see either one of them ever again.
Those 4 movies he gets the most flack about, but I could still watch those. And Bowfinger is actually funny as hell. Bowfinger is actually super funny. I don't think it gets enough credit, but Bowfinger is actually hilarious. And if you watch the clip that I posted, and that was on the show that you had the people watch last week, the first on the call, you know, and he talked about some of those movies that he did. One of the things he wanted to make movies for his kids to watch.
Right.
You know, when you look at Candyland and 1,000 Words and Funny Mansion, you know, those are movies that, hey, my kids can watch those. That my kids can go up and say, you know, I have something that my dad did.
Yeah.
And so then, like you say, hey, I wish he made about putting niggas on the moon. Because niggas ain't never been on the moon. Like
I thought that was an amazing interview that he did on that documentary. To be in Hollywood as long as Eddie Murphy has been, and to only have done one audition in your entire career, that was amazing. He auditioned for Saturday Night Live, and that's it. After that, he was the top guy. They're offering him roles. He wasn't auditioning. That's amazing.
Yeah, man, to just know, like, this movie is for you. I'm still so glad whatever happened with Steven Seagal, not Steven Seagal, Sylvester Stallone, that he was not able to play Axel Foley. His name probably wouldn't even been Axel Foley. It probably would have been some old Italian name. But, yeah. But I wish this was coming out this week because I'm so excited, and I'm working on now for us to go to an early screening of The Sinners.
Okay. So now we talking. Now, before you get into that,
Go ahead.
The Sinners. It's being brought to us by the duo of Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm about to ask you.
What you about to ask?
What's your problem with the Creed franchise? Why don't you like the Creed franchise?
Okay. So, you know that shit wasn't good.
Oh my
You
goodness.
know that was not good. Now, and it could be that I'm super biased.
Okay.
And you know how sometimes when movies come out, you can get so stuck and so fixated on certain characters and the way that story is wrote. I want to say when Creed came out, I was probably wiped out with more Rockies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest. Like, it was, that story really didn't change. So when Creed came out, it's like, oh my God, it's another Rocky movie. I liked the one with, I'm going to blank on his name. My man that just married, the one who was playing Kane.
Oh, Jonathan Majors.
The one with Jonathan, was that part 3?
Like third.
That was great.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the third one. I've watched the third one a few times, but the other two, I think it's because the disconnect with the story of how he's Apollo's son.
Well, it was easy to. Oh, you didn't like it either, Steve?
No. Now we're talking about the concept. We're talking about,
But
okay,
it was easy
it's
to
fine.
believe.
It was not easy to believe to me.
It was because he was a professional athlete. They fuck around.
Now, in the movie, we don't do red pill talk. You gotta say that for the Breakfast Club. We're not getting on you, Anthony Evans. We ain't unless you do a movie. I'm trying to remember. So when you watch the other Rockies with Apollo was shown as a family man.
Yeah.
That's how they portrayed Apollo. That's how they portrayed Rocky. They portrayed them as family men. You saw his family. You saw his wife. And now you telling me, like, he just had this bastard son somewhere that just tucked off in the corner. And
hey man, that's real life. Sometimes you go to funerals, you know what I'm saying? And it's a whole bunch of people on the other side of the funeral that look just like y'all, but y'all ain't never met. Granddaddy was throwing something around town.
I still want to say I'm not a big fan of Creed. Now, it sucks because Ryan Coogler, when you look at his body of work, you got his first movie with Fruitvale Station, second movie Creed, then you got Black Panther, then you got Wakanda Forever, then you got Sinners. I don't know if Michael B. Jordan is, do he write in mind for him?
Okay.
But you can kind of see
Yeah.
that this dude is attached to 4 out of 5 of his last
Yeah.
projects,
I mean,
which is amazing.
it seems like they're going to be a tandem for a long time. I think it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like all the films they done together, and what I like most about Creed was that he put a little bit of. I think his father was battling cancer or something,
Okay.
and that's where he wrote that in with Rocky, the bond between Rocky and Adonis.
Okay.
So that was one of my favorite elements of it. The story within the story.
So Sinners comes out April 18th. And it stars Michael B. Jordan. And we just talked about actors that are able to play 2 characters at one time. We just saw Robert De Niro do it, and we gave him his props, we gave him his credit. I didn't know at first when I first saw the trailer for Sinners a few weeks ago, I didn't know that he was playing 2 people.
This is the first time.
So when I started doing my research on it, he's playing 2 brothers, and I think this is set in the Jim Crow era.
Okay.
So these 2 brothers are coming back and trying to open up a juke joint. And I just get Dusk Till Dawn vibes. That's what I'm getting here. I'm getting a mix between Dusk Till Dawn, Lovecraft Country. It's like a big mix of all that in there. And listening to some people talk about this, they said that this movie got a standing ovation in the middle of the premiere.
Oh, really?
In the middle of the premiere, that they got a standing ovation. 2 credit scenes, which are having people tend that he's creating some type of vampire universe.
Yeah, well, I can say I hope that it's nothing like Lovecraft Country. Is that how you say it?
First off, Lovecraft Country was an excellent TV series. That when we had that question for Ask Big Brother Al not too long ago, what's a show that was canceled that should have got another season? That was definitely on my list.
Yeah, and that was it's probably some of the best sleep I've ever gotten. I just didn't like it, man. I didn't get it.
I'm really starting to realize that you gotta go. We are having auditions for Moviebuffs.
Yo, can't do me like this.
Hey,
I made your asses.
we are having auditions for Moviebuffs. If you would like to audition
You
to
want
sit
to
in
break
the
my
seat
sons of bitches?
because you actually like watching movies that were made after 2017, send us an email at moviebuffs25@gmail.com. Bro, that's crazy.
I had several conversations with people online in the comment section. I was waiting for it to get good, and it just never happened for me, man. I just didn't get it.
Sometimes I feel like your range is stuck with comedy.
That's probably a lot of it, because
It's stuck with comedy because, like,
it's probably a lot of it.
if there's not anything funny, you're not trying to watch it.
I mean, there's a lot of truth to that. I'm not gonna argue with you, but I lean on the comedy fence more than anything. But I like dramas, I like mysteries, but some of I get lost in some of the fantasy stuff. Like, what are we doing? I just didn't get it. So.
Somebody asked me in the comments, they said, and I know you can answer this. They said, JW, what is your favorite movie ever?
Mm-hmm.
Clue. It's kind of hard to say that was like a favorite, like my favorite movie because I have so many. But Clue. I watch Clue every night.
When people ask me like, "What's your favorite?" I have to break it up in genres.
Yeah, like I said, we do genres. There's a bunch of different more, but Clue. I mean, everybody like got that. It's not like we're scared of the dark, but at night, like you put the TV on, you need that light, you need that sound in the background. Clue is a movie that I literally put on 6 out of 7 nights during the week. As I go to sleep, last thing I put on is Clue. I let it play. So yes, Noah, Clue is my favorite movie ever. If you have not seen it, you need to watch it tonight, and you can watch it. All right, because I'm looking at your age on it. It's PG-13, so you should be able to watch it. There's nothing that you can't watch. So if your parents are asking if you're allowed to watch Clue, you tell them I said yeah. You can watch Clue. We already know what's Steve-O's favorite movie. And Titanic was just on the other day. It's like Titanic come on once or twice a week on some station or network, and every time I see it, I think like,
You watching YouTube from the screen.
I know for a fact
He's
he's
been
watching it.
315 pounds. His favorite movie is Titanic. It's a big, strong,
Did you
big, strong.
did you catch up? Did you ever catch up on the studio?
Yes, I did.
So what do you think so far?
Whew. It's a little slow for me, man.
What? What do you want, man? What do you want? What do you want, man?
I want to laugh hysterically.
First off, the studio is hilarious.
It was kind of dry to me.
Is it the white humor that's dry to you?
I do dig white humor. You know, I'm not against it, but I don't know. It's just not doing it for me so far, man.
So this next statement is for J.R. Bang. J.R., how are we going to do a show on classic 80s, 90s white cinema? And he ain't gonna watch it.
Now hold on now. You said the key word 80s and 90s. I'm with all that. I know all of that.
Give me five. 80s, 90s classic white cinema. Give me your top five.
Well, the first thing that comes off to my mind, one of my favorites. It does have some black main characters, but the Police Academy series.
Yes.
So
That's one. I need five, Al. That's one.
I don't
Five.
now we're about to do a show on this, so you want me to?
I just want your five. You gave me one Police Academy. I need four more.
Back to the
80s, 90s.
Future.
Okay, two.
Porky's.
Okay,
Revenge of the Nerds.
okay.
One of my favorite movies from the 80s is Teen Wolf. I didn't like 2. I didn't like Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah, because they
With the
took.
Bateman kid.
Yeah, they took. You know
Well, he's
what?
a kid now, but
I'm just crazy that was him.
yeah.
Thinking about watching Teen Wolf 2, seeing him, not realizing that he would be who he was today.
Yeah.
Because Bateman is hilarious.
I think he's a great actor. He's got some brains too.
A lot of
What's the one the airport movie that
baggage claim.
man, he was
Baggage
I
claim.
never saw him like that.
Well, Ozark. I think Ozark was one of the first ones that I really. But you know what? It's
Kinda-
he's so dry, and he's funny at the same time. He acts the same way and everything.
To me, Ozark, his back was kind of like this.
Yeah, because his wife was in the show. His wife was tough in there.
Yeah.
She was tough. She was super tough up in there. She was super tough.
What I give you 4?
Yeah.
What's 1 4? We just talked about it. I'm a huge Tom Hanks fan. Big was great.
Okay.
I did like Bachelor Party. Should have been watching that at that age, but I wasn't. Sorry, mom. So yeah, man,
Do you
I'll
remember?
be able to participate in the white cinema contest.
Do you remember? It's funny what you just said. Sorry, mom. I don't know about how y'all was back in the day, but you know when we was little, you couldn't watch like certain movies, and even though the rating could have been R, it really wasn't nothing in it. You just always had to sleep and try to watch stuff with mom at night.
My mama was at work, so I was pretty much watching everything.
And my mom was too. That's why we call ourselves like latchkey kids, because we sat at home. And I was just talking to Pete. I was like, "Hey, Pete, you know, we got to do something." He said, "Man, I can't leave the kids at home by themselves." I said, "Fucking kids, 17 years old. White people don't leave their kids at home." I said, "Pete, they 17. One is 17 and one is 12." And he's like, "No, I still can't leave them at home by themselves." We was at home by ourselves like all the
Hey
time.
man, you get home from school, you turn the key, go in there, you
And you
fix your
couldn't open the
snack.
door for nobody.
That not.
You couldn't open the door for nobody. Go in there and cut that TV on and watch TV.
Yeah. Fix a snack, do that at homework, and don't tell my house up.
Go to no before she left.
Right.
Yeah.
And you better
Ain't no sex.
pull that meat out the freezer too.
Boy, you gotta have that meat out the freezer when she come home and cook, or it was gonna be a issue. G-Ma said school day.
School Days. I love School Days. That was a good movie. It was one of the things that made me want to go to college. I didn't finish, but it made me want to
That
go.
definitely made you want to go.
And what's my name? Big Brother Almighty. But I took the Big Brother app.
And you made it quick with big brother hat.
Yeah, but I love School Day. I love anything Spike Lee's in or has something to do with. And Lawrence Fishburne. Man, one of my favorite actors. Fishburne don't get enough credit.
I just seen something. He was like a teenager. It was like some old school movie. They showed a clip of him.
Yeah.
He had like one line in
With
it.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I was like, dang, he was. Damn.
Wasn't it weird how much Charlie Sheen looked exactly like Emilio? As I know it's his son.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they look exactly alike.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Charlie Sheen, welcome back to TV. He has a new show coming out. It's with the create, and I'm losing the name. Let me look it real quick. He has a new show coming out. It's with the people who created Entourage.
Okay.
Let me find the name.
Entourage was a great show.
You can entertain the people while I'm trying to find this. But yeah, peacocks.
We're marching down the field.
All right.
Yeah.
The name of this show is called Ramble On.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to see that. They basically bringing him into the show. They're starting a podcast.
Okay.
And they trying to, bring him in to do the podcast, even though he hasn't worked in a while. He's actually playing himself.
Okay.
That's actually pretty cool in that. But that's not out yet. But
Okay.
we get to run into that. Well, man, thanks to all my last key kids and movie heads for tuning in with us today. We just wanted to go live and, talk about some things that we had on the docket for this week. Next week, we'll be rolling out back on top of all our shows. We'll catch you guys on Wednesday with Ask with Brother Al.
Please send the questions.
Yeah, send those questions in for Ask with Brother Al. You can put them on any platform, or you can email us at moviebuffs25@gmail.com if you would like to come on the show with us, or you want to get to the trivia and get on some what had happened was. It's a lot of things, but we want to be interactive with our audience. So feel free, man, to always get into those comment sections. You want to start a debate with us, you want to go back and forth about something, please do.
Also, tell us what we need to watch.
Absolutely, give us some suggestions. Don't give it to him. He ain't gonna watch it. But definitely give us some suggestions to watch, so we can watch those shows and give you our feedback on he ain't gonna watch it and what we think about it.
Man, Malcolm X, man. It's the easiest 3 hours ever. Like once I
If you can sit there and watch the Malcolm X 2-3 times a week, which is 3 hours each time you watch it, that's 3, 6, 9. You could have watched the whole season, the whole first season of Game of Thrones already.
But here's the thing. In Game of Thrones, am I going to see a masterful performance like I saw Denzel give in the transition from Detroit Red to Brother Malcolm? Am I going to get
Yes, because you can watch Arya Stark start from nothing to killing the White King, but we ain't even gonna get into that.
That's my homework for this week. I guarantee you, I'm going to have at least 7, 8 of those episodes finished by next week.
Okay, now y'all hear this.
I guarantee.
The first thing I'm asking him on Wednesday when it's time to ask Big Brother Al, I need to ask him how many episodes you watched the Game of Thrones and give me a rundown of that first season. That's, you already know that's what it's gonna
We got to put something on it.
We're gonna put something on some rib tips
Some bread
from Wilma's
Let's go.
in the city.
Shout out to Will.
Shout out to Wilma's. That was the best rib tips and chicken that I had in a while. We in the suburbs now. They just don't have that same food. These people gave us some rib tips and some chicken, delivered it on a bicycle in a plastic bag. And do you know that chicken was still crunchy like it just came out the grease?
Hey, we got the movie part down, but Will was making it real hard for us to get the buff part.
Man, Wilma's is old.
We are not buff anymore. We've been going in a couple of weeks.
All right, movie heads, man. We'll